These are the live visuals coming in from Bikaner. He's going to lay the foundation stone of multiple developmental projects in Rajasthan, give the nation several lanes for better accessibility, better travel. He's going to inaugurate and also dedicate the big projects. The total cost of these projects is worth 26,000 crore rupees, and it also includes schemes related to railways, roads, power, water and renewable energy. Live shots of Prime Minister Modi from Bikaner coming up on your screen at the moment. Now, Prime Minister Modi has already visited the very famous Karni Mata temple at Deshnok. Now, he will be inaugurating the newly constructed Deshnok railway station under the Amrit Bharat Station Yojana, and will also flag off a new express train from Bikaner to Mumbai. On the left side of your screen, you can see the visuals coming in from the very famous Karni Mata temple in Bikaner, where Prime Minister Modi paid his tribute. So far, remember, 103 railway stations in 86 districts across the country have already been renovated, and they have been designed according to the regional culture. Now, Prime Minister Modi is there in Rajasthan for multiple developmental projects. Speaking about the Deshnok station, it's built based on a temple architecture, while the Thawai station in Bihar is decorated with Madhubani paintings and pictures of Ma Thawai. So the stations are going to be the mirror reflection of the particular state and the specialty of the state. Be it the Madhubani painting for a station in Bihar, be it the temple architecture for the station in Deshnok in Rajasthan. Now, Prime Minister Modi is also going to lay the foundation stone of a 58-kilometer stretch of the Churu-Sadulpur rail line. Besides electrification of Suratgarh, Falodi, Fulera, Digana, Udaipur, Himmatnagar, Falodi, Jaisalmer and Samdari, Barmer rail sections that are also going to be dedicated to the nation. Prime Minister Modi is also going to lay the foundation stone of 3 vehicle underpasses and several national highway projects for the connectivity of India getting only and only improved further. Live shots coming in on your screens. Prime Minister Modi doing the inauguration there in Bikaner, showing the green flag. This is the Deshnok station. A new look, facelift for the station. We'll be showing the temple architecture, a mini Rajasthan reflected through the railway station. A new rail also inaugurated by Prime Minister Modi. Currently, you can see him waving at the crowd gathered at the station. Children also waving at the Prime Minister. My colleague Brijesh Pandey is joining us on the broadcast. Brijesh, looks like Prime Minister Modi has added another feather while he focuses on improving the connectivity across the nation.
Well, absolutely, and I think it's going to be a milestone because Prime Minister is going to inaugurate 103 Amrit stations, including 5 stations in Karnataka, and there's several very important railway stations which are going to improve the efficiency and efficacy the way rail travel is done. 3-4 of them is Munirabad, Bagalkot, Gadag, Gokak Road, and Dharwad stations are among the 103 railway stations. Right now, you can see the visuals of Prime Minister inaugurating one of the railway stations there, and the people in the crowd waving at him. But we also saw how the Prime Minister visited Karni Mata Mata temple and offered his prayers at that temple. So the Prime Minister is inaugurating Deshnok. He has inaugurated the Deshnok railway station in Bikaner, and from here he will be inaugurating 103 Amrit stations, which will include 5 stations in Karnataka as well. And these 103 Amrit stations are situated in 86 districts across 18 states and union territories, and they have been developed at a cost of over 1,100 crore. And approximately 1,300 stations are being redeveloped with modern facilities designed to reflect regional architecture and also enhance passengers' amenities under the Amrit Bharat station scheme. So I'm saying that these stations are going to completely change the modern infrastructure, with where they be showcasing your cultural heritage, passenger-centric amenities, including those for Divyangjan and sustainable practices to enhance the travel experience. This Amrit Bharat station scheme, which has been launched, under which this 103 Amrit station has been launched. Look at the scope of and the length of breadth of this inauguration, which is going to be done by Prime Minister. This is spread in, these are situated in 86 districts, and they cut across 18 states and union territories of India. Sakshi?
Absolutely. And apart from the connectivity, Brijesh, first up, let me just tell our viewers what we are looking at. Prime Minister Modi interacting with the children who gathered at the Deshnok railway station there in Bikaner. He's waving at the children and crowd that gathered there. Also signing a couple of paintings that the children brought for their Prime Minister. Brijesh, now let me come back to you, because it's not only about the connectivity. Prime Minister Modi is again reiterating on the importance of, power production, the solar power, the renewable energy. This is something that, in fact, a topic that is very close to Prime Minister Modi, and he never forgets to mention that point.
Well, absolutely. And I think, if you look at the sheer range and scope of this particular inauguration, which is an extremely important inauguration as far as, India rail connectivity is concerned, 103 Amrit stations, including 5 stations in Karnataka, is something phenomenal, and they are going to change the landscape as far as railway stations and enhanced railway stations, which are also showcasing the regional, the local cultural heritage, and also providing, a better, superior passenger amenities. New shelters have been provided at several platforms, and toilet blocks have been improved. So a lot has been improved in these 103 railway stations, which will provide a superlative experience as far as passenger is concerned. Passengers usage experience is concerned. We see Prime Minister waving green flag to inaugurate the railway station, and all of it will be done through video conferencing.
Brijesh, and something very crucial is that it's also going to facilitate the smoother movement of the security forces.
Well, yes, it will. It will improve that, and because the connectivity is something which not only helps the common man who uses rail on a regular basis, but this is also that in any time of any crisis, the higher the connectivity, the better chance of movements of troops and other vital things which the government would want to move from A location to B location. So that is the reason why the emphasis of any government which has security and also making sure that the connectivity of people is at the top of their mind or their policies is this infrastructure as well as rail infrastructure. So that has been the central focus of Prime Minister's approach as far as these two are concerned. And you can on our screens, our viewers can look the before and the after, like what was the condition of those 103 Amrit stations were before, and about the equation, the situation which is going to be after. And that is the reason why this is completely changed, completely metamorphosized railway stations, where the first one looks like that it is there's a structure there, but it requires certain beefing up. And now, with the improved structural change, structural reforms, showcasing your local religious languages and identities and every other thing, it transforms the whole usage experience as well as the connectivity as far as these railway stations are concerned.
Absolutely. A very impressive facelift for multiple stations across India, Brijesh. But something that Prime Minister Modi made sure that we keep intact is also the significance of each of the states and showing and reflecting mini India through a passage which is very famous by the Indian passengers, right?
Well, yes, this is also there, and we also we have seen how there has been a significant infrastructural push also, because if you move across world, you see the face of these railway stations and all, they're like they're in sync with the modern times, the kind of the facilities they provide. And I think it's time also India for to move towards that direction. And this is the reason why this is 103 Amrit stations, and the kind of facelift it's providing, the kind of the modern amenities, the infrastructural push, infrastructural change which they are going to provide is pretty fascinating.
And that is why we said, "Mera desh badal raha hai, Brijesh."
Well, yes, as far as infrastructural push is concerned, we can say for sure that a lot is changing as far as the infrastructural push is concerned, the rail infrastructure push is concerned, which is vital not only for the movement and connecting the first and the last station of India, but also when it comes to defense movement, when it also comes to movement of goods, transports and all. So it's not for nothing that it's called the lifeline of modern India, and that is something which is on full display here. The before and the after, which is there on our screens, the viewers are watching, is a clear display of that only.
Recognizing, but not forgetting our own roots, Brijesh, is something that Prime Minister Modi famously do. But something very crucial to highlight here through the visuals which are being played on the screens of our viewers is that Prime Minister Modi also paid tribute to our Jawans. As you can clearly see through the visuals on the screens, he also went and on those pictures it's written "Jawano ko Naman," Brijesh.
Well, yes, I think he went also to the one of the museums where there because Bikaner is a border town, and after that he's also likely to visit the Null Air Force point. So it's also one side you have this massive inauguration of 103 Amrit stations, completely beefed up with modern amenities, showcasing structures and all, and simultaneously also Prime Minister using this opportunity to interact with the Jawans, go in the museum which is showcasing the valor of Jawans who belong to this particular area, and it'll be very fascinating to see what the address the Prime Minister is going to make as far as his interaction with the Null Air Force Base in Bikaner.
Right. And we have also been given to understand, Brijesh, that Prime Minister Modi is going to lay the foundation stone of 25 state government schemes. So could you please enlighten us more about that?
Well, what we have been given to understand is that the Prime Minister, apart from inaugurating these, are also going to, because he's the BJP, the double engine ki sarkar of Rajasthan. The BJP also has its government. The state government also belongs to the BJP. So I think the state government is also utilizing on this opportunity to have the Prime Minister here and inaugurate certain schemes which are very, very crucial as far as the state infrastructure is concerned.
From the facelifting of the stations, also adding the modern equipments to it, it's also going to be a big push, especially for the rural India.
It is. It will. Any railway that is, for one big reason, rail is called the lifeline of India is because of this only, that that the kind of rural urban connect it provides, and this 103 railway stations which are there, which is going to be used by the people at large. This will also be used by people, and it basically provides a lot more connectivity, both urban and rural, and it'll be very, very fascinating to see. People are also very eagerly waiting for what the Prime Minister is going to say when he goes for the Null Air Base in Bikaner.
Brijesh, let's also speak about the employment chances. It's also going to increase by several folds with the the stations being modernized and being facelifted.
Well, of course, whenever you go for these kind of modernization, immediately there is always there's always a chance that there's always the fact that that you always have this push as far as local employment is concerned, because most of the local contractors are there, and when the situation and the entire facelift is done, you also have local people is employed there to make sure that day-to-day activity as far as these railway stations are concerned is done. So I think this is very fascinating. So for example, one of the Munirabad railway station, and it has been completed at a cost of 18.4 crore rupees. Now this is the closest railhead to the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Hampi, which is 10 kilometers, and it attracts tourists worldwide to its renowned monuments like Virupshaka Temple, Vitala Temple, and Stone Chariot. So it also provide access to attractions like Tungabhadra Dam and Anjandari Hill, which is a famous pilgrim site. So of course it will provide for big connectivity. It will be going to be a big boost as far as your tourism is concerned. So all in all, it's a very big push as far as infra push is concerned. It's big push as far as railway connectivity is concerned, and it's also of course a big facelift from its earlier situation.
And we've also been given to understand that apart from the stations, he is also going to inaugurate the rural water supply and fluoride control project in Junjunu district and urban water supply schemes of 7 towns in Pali district. Could you tell us more about that as well?
Well, yes, the Prime Minister is going to inaugurate this water project in Junjunu, and given the kind of water condition that is there in Rajasthan and also the district of Junjunu, I think this is a big project to which the Prime Minister's inauguration and the kind of boost it will provide to the local infrastructure, because when you see these visuals of Prime Minister there, you also see in attendance the Rajasthan Chief Minister, and not only Rajasthan Chief Minister, you also see the Law Minister, Arjun Ram Meghwal, who is also a member of Parliament and a cabinet minister in Modi government. So the Prime Minister inaugurating a particular project will definitely provide a requisite boost as far as tackling that particular situation in that area is concerned.
Right, Brijesh, thank you so much for joining us, for bringing us all of those details and putting all of that into perspective for our viewers too. These are the latest visuals coming in on our screens of Prime Minister Modi waving at the crowd in Bikaner, also laying the foundation stones and giving the green flag to multiple projects as well as the new rails. A big facelift for multiple stations underway.